Broadcasting live from the Albay PIO News Center, providing you the most exclusive news update from all over the province. This is News at 12. In the local scene, the provincial government of Albay led the 2025 World Day Against Trafficking in Persons observance at the Albay Astrodome. The event was organized by the Provincial Committee on Anti-Trafficking and Violence Against Women and Children and the Provincial Council for the Protection of Children. This year's theme, Unified Against Trafficking, Strengthening Stakeholders' Capacity and Local Action for Protection of Women and Children, highlighted collective action to safeguard vulnerable groups. Representatives from all 18 local government units, national agencies, and partner groups joined to show support for the campaign. Provincial Social Welfare and Development Officer Maria Vivian A. Sea called for the unity and shared responsibility in ending trafficking. The provincial government of Albay vowed to strengthen programs that protect the rights and welfare of women and children. Officials said the province aims to be a model in coordinated action against trafficking and exploitation. In other story, the Sangguniang Panlalawigan ng Albay is rushing a resolution to release the health emergency allowance to qualified provincial health workers. Committee on Laws Chair and 1st District's Board Member Sheena Marie Onrubia de la Cruz urged swift action to ensure prompt payment. Committee on Health Chair Marian Caroline Zigaso backed the move, stressing that all workers who served during the COVID-19 pandemic must be paid without delay. The resolution follows Republic Act 11712, the Public Health Emergency Benefits and Allowances for Healthcare Workers Act. Workers from the Provincial Health Office and district hospitals in Rapu-Rapu, Manito, and Pantao will receive pay based on risk exposure. Qualified workers may get 3,000 pesos for low risks, 6,000 pesos for medium risks, and 9,000 pesos for high risk under Department of Health rules. In the national scene, Public Works Secretary Vince Dizon linked Ako Bicol Party List Representative Saldico and his alleged firm, SunWest Incorporated, to substandard flood control projects in Oriental Mindoro. Dizon said SunWest was behind 5 of 7 defective projects in the province. He said the Department of Public Works and Highways planned to file a case against CO, but instead endorsed it to the Independent Commission for the Infrastructure created by President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. Co, reportedly in the United States for medical treatment, has been accused of pushing billions of pesos in insertions for questionable infrastructure projects in the 2025 national budget. He has denied the allegations. This week, House Speaker Faustino D. III revoked Co's travel authority and ordered him to return to the country. Government officials must secure clearance before leaving the Philippines, even for private trips. In other story, a group of martial law victims claimed that corruption in multi-billion peso flood control projects stems from plunder during the dictatorship of the late President Ferdinand Marcos Sr. The campaign against the return of the Marcoses and the martial law, or KARMA, marks the 53rd martial law anniversary by calling the era the golden age of corruption. The group said the Marcos regime was notorious for killings, human rights violations, and large-scale looting of public funds. The Philippine Commission on Good Government estimated the Marcos family hid $5 to $10 billion abroad, with at least 170 billion pesos recovered over 3 decades. Karma recalled the 2013 Million People March, which drew tens of thousands to Luneta Park to demand accountability and the abolition of the Priority Development Assistance Fund. The Supreme Court later declared the fund unconstitutional. In other news, over 100 runners joined a protest run Sunday from UP Diliman in Quezon City to Luneta in Manila against alleged large-scale corruption in government flood control projects. Around 120 participants gathered at the UP Oblation at 5 a.m. before starting the 15-kilometer route, most of them from Quezon City. Public outrage over ghost and substandard flood control projects has sparked growing protests as the Senate, House of Representatives, and the Independent Commission for Infrastructure continue their probes. The runners joined the activists and multi-sectoral groups at Luneta for a program calling for transparency and accountability. The Luneta event was part of the nationwide protests, including a rally at the People Power Monument in Quezon City, expected to have drawn up to 30,000 people. And in the news outside the country, Venezuela held a day of military training for civilians in response to the U.S. military buildup in the Caribbean and threats from President Donald Trump. Washington deployed warships off Venezuela's coast and F-35 fighter jets to Puerto Rico, calling it an anti-drug mission. Defense Minister Vladimir Padrino Lopez accused the U.S. of waging an undeclared war in the Caribbean. He cited recent terrorist strikes that killed a dozen alleged drug traffickers near Venezuelan waters. Caracas also accused Washington of trying to topple its government and seize its oil and other natural resources. And finally, in the news outside the country, U.S. President Donald Trump imposed a new annual $100,000 fee on H-1B visa applications to further tighten immigrants' rules. The H-1B billion lets highly skilled foreign workers stay in the U.S. for an initial 3-year period. American tech companies rely heavily on the program, with most workers coming from India and China. In 2025, over 70% of approved applicants were from India, and only 85,000 H-1B visas are issued each year under 2 categories. Applicants currently pay a small lottery fee and another fee if selected for processing. And that's all for the news at 12, September 23, 2025. We'll be back tomorrow for more news updates. Thanks to our news writer, LJ Lorejo and Lea Gozon. And on the technical side, Chad Bobis. And our Provincial Information Officer, OIC Marty Gonzalez. And under the supervision of our Governor, Noel E. Rizal, I am Greg Hallare. Thank you for subscribing.